Hi Scorpio, if you want to come on in and empathically explore your ink blot I've made in your name and essence, feel free to take a screenshot so you can scry for any shapes or symbols that stand out and speak to your psyche and psychic senses. If you're new to me here, I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to relax, release the race and the rush, closing the eyes, cleansing the palate, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Scorpios, when you're ready, it is my honor. Thank you for holding space so I can share my insights. Feel well to comment below what you see, sense, and feel as well. All right, diving in to the aura of Scorpio, inspired by December, but not held in stone. Okay, I'm actually going to open the book here. You are sharing the page with Sagittarius, should that stand out to you. You know, those books, I can't remember who the author is, but they were like very simply drawn, like Mrs. Sharp, Mr. something, and they were like round dots and different shapes of these bold primary colors for the most point. And if I do remember, I'll throw it in the comment below. And that's what I'm seeing, like Mr. and Mrs. Boundaries. Mr. and Mrs. Boundaries. But this feels very... One day I'll get used to that camera thing. Like there it is. And then the hands out to the side. There's some sort of ancient wisdom that's coming through about it. Like this is something you either have known, have been building, cultivating for a long time, or it's stepping forward again. Also could be a grandfather in spirit that is holding open a door for you. Or a general male presence, somebody close to the heart space, is really fond. Almost like a Santa Claus, like what you would think of like the spirit of Santa. If there's a spirit around you that has that spirit of giving and receiving, and the box, the present, the gift is a boundary, right? That's how that's feeling. It's really quite interesting. All right, Scorpios, I'm going to continue on here, if you don't mind. I'm seeing not a helicopter, planes, but they're old. It's bringing me back to the days of when I worked at the airport and the Warplane Heritage Museum. I don't think it's a Cessna, but it's something along the lines like it's yellow. It's a yellow plane, and there's a pilot. Maybe you are a pilot, or wherever you're going. Something about the eyes, like you might... The Scorpio collective energy and or individually may have just your eyes set on something. And maybe this spirit and the spirit of giving, this wisdom and receiving in these boundaries coming up to the threshold. It's like, I know where I'm going. Even though, like, I'm suddenly plopped into the cockpit, and me as Stephanie, I don't understand necessarily all the gauges and how I know where I am. However, the Scorpio energies know. It's like if I was on a boat and I could read water. Scorpios are in the air and can read clouds and wind velocities, and I don't know. The language is beyond me. I'm seeing a hangman at the back. You know, like if you were in the airplane and it would have this sign at the, you know, like, will you marry me? Or I love you, or, you know, donate or buy Steph a coffee, whatever. It's like there's somebody you have hanging out at the back of your plane. It kind of feels like ultimatum-y. Scorpio, maybe that's just the energy you're in because of your boundaries. You're like, I'm willing to drop if there's too much weight or baggage on my flight. Like you didn't pay the extra. The reciprocity isn't equal to constitute Scorpio energies having this extra drag. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense. Hopefully I communicated that somewhat clearly. I'm also seeing a circle. It feels very Celtic. And interestingly enough, I feel many of the signs are working in different elements other than their primary or what they're known for, what they're famous for. And it feels brilliant. And you're very earthly here. And there's something about lightening up the earthly existence, hence like the hangman, dangling extra baggage and stuff out. But there's a conversation first. It's not all, ditching things up in the sky and littering for the rest of your collective. This is very conscious, it feels like. This isn't done without deep feelings, but it's actually, you need to lighten the load. Maybe you can place this in your personal, professional life, one way or the other. Maybe even just the way you're thinking of things. And it's fun because the plane I'm seeing, the symbolic plane, is in the shape of like hammerhead sharks. But I'm seeing two of them, of course, because it's an ink blot. So subconscious, conscious, esoteric, and exoteric, all that kind of good stuff. And even though they're like hammerhead sharks at the front, like a boat would have that front thingy, the plane does, but they're like high-fiving. Like, yeah. If I was like seeing them doing tricks in the air or something like that. So both aspects are doing their stuff. Again, wherever you want to land that, right? Waking, sleeping, intellect, intuition. Sorry, I got distracted. This ring kind of feels like a crop circle, Scorpio. But I might be misreading it. From my perspective, anyway. I think it's called it's not a petroglyph, hieroglyph, and there's another one, I think. It's the one where, it's not the hieroglyph. It might be a petroglyph or a geoglyph. Oh, I just like poked my nose. Awkward, leaving it. It's fine, it's human. Okay, so if I was in your airplane and looking down, there are shapes and symbols you can see on the earth that make symbols that mean something that you can only see from the sky, from this higher mind that you seem to be, the collective energy is working on in this auric field that I'm perceiving. And it's like you can see a sacred circle with a woolly mammoth trunk. And somehow it's also making a contraption. I'm actually going to try and show you while I'm in this. Okay, so here's the ring. And these are the woolly mammoth trunks here. Oh, there we go. Right? And then this is the channel of entering. But it's like if I was the airplane's way up here and there's the high five of the hammerhead sharks, there's something in that space. Like it kind of reminds me of Stonehenge, but it's not Stonehenge. It feels lower to the ground, and I really am trying to bring up my history, knowing of when there's like hills, we would just see them as hills or something, but really it's this long serpent of sorts. There's guardians, like there's like crossing blocks. It's almost like if you don't know it's there, there's no way to enter it from the land. And there's some sort of spirits that merge here. They're very light, very light. And I feel like the Scorpio energy, like a Christmas bulb, kind of like that one, like the clear one. And maybe that's what you resonate if it's like a witch's ball or something like that. Putting sacred herbs in or intentions. And perhaps that's the spirit of it. Finding some sort of clear container that you can plainly see, and it's almost out in plain sight. But it's not always recognizable of its power or purity or purpose from different perspectives of perception. That's how I'm going to kindly say that. And there's even like sharks here down at the bottom. But they're shark mermen. Shark mermen. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen shark mermen. I'm going to flip it to win it here, Scorpios. And I'm going to start adding on some tarot and oracle too, if you don't mind. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for joining me. Your awesome attention and awareness is appreciated as we wander through a multi-dimensional meditative state. Long-necked dragons. Like if giraffes and dragons had a baby. That's what I'm seeing. Giraffes and dragons. What is that thing called in someone's hair? Is it a rat tail when they have like a little thing at the back of their head? Like a little braid or a ponytail? I don't know if that's, maybe it's a mullet, but I think it's like a rat tail. I don't know why it's coming through. I'm not sure I've ever seen it before, but perhaps in the symbology of like the rat, there's, again, from that higher perspective and that hangman, you're going to hang out any rats. Scorpios are cleaning house and lightening up. I'm also seeing somebody making a heart with their hands. Scorps. You have here owl medicine. This is that perception. That perception, being up in the sky. Okay, Spirit Keeper of the West, fire. Look at all this coloring. Here's your fire. Your fire is in your wisdom right now. It is in the cleansing and creation. But Scorpios, there's some sort of new opportunity. Like if Sacred Mountain is on the bottom as well. Like the petroglyph, Stonehenge. You're perceiving from a different point of view. I'm hearing like, I'm guessing it's really back in the day. It's about gold miners, I believe. And they're all going west. Like if there's opportunities west. But here and now, while you're in this higher perspective in this airplane, it's like you have things to do in this earth timeline, like in maybe recent past to the present. Before you head west, you have to lighten up so you're not carrying so much out there with you. And that feels like that fire. Oh. Okay, back to the ink blot. Actually, we're going to move on there. Thank you. We're here for Scorpio energy. I just heard the Backstreet Boys song. Maybe. Quit playing games with my... That's horrible. Quit playing games with my heart. Whatever. That's that heart thing. No more games. If anyone's... There's no more games. I don't know what else, how to say that, Scorpio. Just... No more games. Maybe this is in regards to love. This new beginning going west. Thank you. This isn't the deck. That's fine. I'm also seeing a seal. That symbology may mean something to someone. So, okay. This is like never eat shredded wheat. So when I go west, so from the east point, I see this person kind of playing games with your heart. And when I travel west through the heart, I hit up this seal, and there's this peaceful seal without the ink blot having made its way all the way over to mirror. So going west holds this opportunity, and it might be in love. Now, whether that's love for your job, love for your career, partnership, companionship, this, that, or the other, Scorpios, but I keep hearing enough is enough. I'm going to cleanse this out. burn the extra, because it's costing you extra fuel. It's like if I could see your airplane burning off wood fuel, like a steam engine train, steam train, but say your plane is. And I'm not here to make sense of it. I'm just simply sharing the symbology. And you're like, I'm burning too much fuel for you. No, wiser now. But there's accountability and responsibility in it, Scorpios. And that's why you're in the driver's seat of it. It's on the bottom here, deep freeze. Yeah, you're done. You're done. You're moving on from anything that keeps you frozen in fear, frozen in fight. You're warming things up, de-thawing. Okay, all right. I feel very charged. I feel very defensive of you right now. Like in your defense. All right, all right, all right. I'm seeing dolphins. So as you're moving through this, I'm also seeing a crab. Like the Cancer energy that may have something to do with you or may resonate, or it's simply the energy of nurturing you. Self-care. And it brings me into those dolphins. And these dolphins have big eyes down here. That deep freeze came out again. Like, do you see whoever this person, place, or thing is, this job, this mindset, if it's of yourself, but this one card, and there's all this fire and sun. Like, I almost want to say, if this is something you're moving through and doing now over the winter, because there is a lion in there and there's strength. So it takes strength to be here and to hold it as you de-thaw. The winter just may be the season. And you might head west for the spring or summer. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about right now. You're taking care of business. And that means you got to be present here with the causes and effects, the interactions and interconnected nature of those people, places, and things that have brought you to this moment before you head west. So you don't create a cycle of coming back. Remember, like that crop circle? So you don't just come back into the same cycle. You're like, no, I'm going to take care of business. Scorpios, it feels so loving though. Fierce is all F. I'm not going to lie. Like, it feels fierce, but it's a fierce fire within the self to say, I am tired of even maybe my own crap. And what you've been putting up with, the extra baggage that you've been carrying, enough is enough. You're heading towards the golden palace of earth and the magical stream. This is what is being cultivated in the Scorpio energy. But the wisdom that you already have is, I don't know if the lighting will allow that to come through, you got to make the choice here. So if you've been debating, it's not between earth and water, or air and water. West holds at least the possibility of a culmination of things. For me, how I'm reading make the choice is in regards to taking the winter to de-thaw, clean it out. Notice what is taking some of your fuel, baggage, drop it, ditch it. Compassionately and respectively, knowing your part in it. And maybe that's why it'll take a season or so, you know, to kind of really detox from it. But know that when you decide to walk forward with your pet dolphin, and I feel like and that's in that magical stream that comes with you, those dolphins, you'll be able to emotionally go west and sail west, and you'll be able to meet up just, golden opportunities. And not like a new earthly experience, but kind of, yeah, like a reinvention. It feels like reinvention. But you got to forego something, someone or something, possibly even a mindset. But this all is in regards to love. Love for yourself, possibly love for another. And acknowledging, you can also say, you know, possibly in some circumstances is, you know, I love you, but it's just not working. And I want it to work. But we've been at this for X amount of days, weeks, months, years. And, you know, somebody needs to be wise and say, maybe, you know, we're better off as friends. Maybe we're not great as business partners. Maybe this isn't the job for me. And that doesn't mean there needs to be slash marks, you know, and draw out the spite of Scorpio. It's Scorpio's like, oh, no, again, that interaction keeps it going. I acknowledge my place. We can talk about it, but I got to get rid of this baggage. New horizons, new heights, Scorpio. I really hope that you enjoy it. I'm also seeing like two, I think they're like, no, you know what they are? They're not like anteaters. There's some sort of creature in a tree. They're not sloths, but they have a little bit of a longer nose. It doesn't matter. But they kind of like have their heads together. And I feel like, you know, when you are with a partner, when you are in a job or career, and you're not butting heads, this isn't a butting heads of the heart in this aspect. That could be over here. And what you're burning away. If anything's butting heads and you're like, I'm done. And then it's like, once it's realized, there's peace within the self to be like, oh, peace be with you. I love the feeling. I'm going to let you go, Scorpios. I'm completely honored. As always, links below if you'd like to donate through Buy Me a Coffee or PayPal. If you want to be my muse for your own Rorschach, the link is also below. And yeah, I think in my link tree is also like Instagram is the only other social media I have. So, all right. Until next time, Scorpios. Thank you.